Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Solar Sales Uncensored. I am your host, Aaron Browning, and I am beyond excited for today's episode. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on camera. I know that's why everyone's here. I am excited to introduce my partner, my ride or die. She is an amazing, amazing person. She is an amazing speaker, as you soon will see. She's an amazing leader. She has become an awesome, awesome friend. Miss Maureen Vincenty. Today's topic, just so you know, is we're going to be taking a deep dive on the network marketing struggle that her and I both were a part of and how she made a life-changing decision career-wise to link up with us here in Solar. Maureen, how the heck are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited for this podcast. Thank you for having me as a guest.
Absolutely. I know our audience is going, for those that don't know you already, they're going to be blown away. I literally tell her every time we do anything together, publicly facing, she is arguably one of the best speakers I've ever seen. She talks with an authentic tone, as you'll see. She comes from contribution. She's always caring. In fact, that's one of the things we have to work on sometimes, is her being a little bit more selfish. But let's, for those, like I said, that don't know you, why, your quick, 60 to second story, your background, a little bit more about you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so it's fun. I'm actually a rocket scientist. It's a joke, but it's true. People are always like, guess your former, guess what her former career was or whatever. Someone goes, oh, rocket scientist. And I'm like, kind of actually, yeah. But
crazy.
So my degrees are actually in astrophysics and geology from UCLA. And I worked in corporate America for 10 years as a geologist, working for EPA, working for some private companies and stuff. And I used to inspect hazardous waste landfills and facilities with a hard hat and steel-toe boots. Totally not the glamorous job I thought I was going to have when I was studying earthquakes and all sorts of fun things. And then switched into entrepreneurship in 2014. I had a ton of health issues. My mom died from ovarian cancer when I was pre-med at UCLA. That kind of sparked the interest in functional nutrition then. And then in my late 20s, I had all my own autoimmune stuff or whatever. So I just collected all these degrees and certifications to heal my own body. And then was like the free advice giver to friends, family, and coworkers, helping people with diabetes and autoimmune. Everyone's like, you should be doing this for a living. And I'm like, I'm a scientist. I have no freaking clue how to run a business. I can fix the people when they're in front of me, but getting them to me, that's a whole nother struggle. But I left in 2014 and did that and had a pretty thriving peak performance health consulting business for about 5 years. But it was a lot. I mean, I invested well over 6 figures in learning how to be a solopreneur to build the business. And then COVID came, shut all that down. And a friend of mine sucked me into a multi-level marketing company, and, which is, how I know you.
Yep.
And, so that ran its course, and then it didn't run its course the way I wanted to anymore, which I know we'll get into. And now I found Solar, and that is, that was longer than 60 seconds, but
no, it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure everybody now knows what I mean by her speaking ability. It's off the charts. Let's talk about network marketing. Obviously, that's how you and I have known each other now for probably 3 to 4 years, somewhere along that time frame. I know personally, I'm insanely grateful for network marketing. I think everybody should start it, at least do something there. It grows you as a person. It grows your leadership ability, your marketing ability, your speaking ability. What are some of your takeaways from the network marketing, starting on a positive front, if you don't mind?
Yeah, no, there are lots of positives. So I definitely don't want to bash the industry at all, because there are so many multi-level marketing companies out there. Some of them are absolutely amazing, integrity. I have some friends that make a killing in network marketing and are just happy all the way around. Customers, product, this. So some of the blessings. One, community.
Love that.
Community. And and you see it, you see it at the conventions. It blew my mind, actually. And I've been at conventions I was just at an Isogenics convention, actually, my friend, because I was visiting and in town, and I just love being there. I didn't want the products necessarily, but I loved being there, and the people on stage and speaking, and people were so genuinely happy. And you hear, every company's got products and services that aren't for everyone, but they really do change lives for some of the people. Like watching these people on stage that have these life-changing experiences, either from using the products or from what the business opportunity did for them, and you hear it all the time. People join for the product, but they stay for the relationships. There are some people that don't make any money, but still go. Like they're in it. They're in the community. They are just branded for life. And so I would say the relationships. I also think, we're with COVID, it shifted a lot more, but it's that freedom. It is that promise for something different than a corporate paycheck, clocking in, clocking out. It gives financial freedom for people that can do really well in it. But even if it's not a primary source of income, it can be something that gives time freedom, location freedom, working from anywhere. That's something I love about being entrepreneurs. I travel all the time. I'm single.
Yes,
I
you
don't
do.
have kids. I know people are always like, where in the world are you now? But it's like, it doesn't really matter where I am. I can be anywhere as long as I have an internet connection.
Yep.
I'm in business, and that is a huge gift that the network marketing industry can give people if they don't want to start their own traditional online business, right? They're plugging into a system that already exists, and they're getting a team and they're getting support in order to do that. So that's a blessing. Being able to help people, that's my big mission in life is, impact. How can I make the biggest impact possible, and how can I help others do the same in their own way? So you take a model and then you can put your own vision and mission for life in that model that already exists.
Love that.
To really make an impact.
Love that. By the way, we could have a whole podcast just on what you just said. It's so big. It's so freaking important. Taking notes as you talk, as I always do. You talk about freedom, and for me, the two asterisks there, what you said, it's money and time. I remember when I got started with network marketing 5 years ago, I knew nothing about it at all, other than I met a great mentor who had a lifestyle that I wanted. Financially, I was doing well, but I had no time freedom. And so I literally asterisked time because that was so big. I was missing time with my family, my beautiful kids. And I got a taste of what owning a business could look like. So I will echo that 1000%. Let's talk about some of the things that are tough about the network marketing space, if you don't mind.
Yeah. And it's funny too. I feel like God kind of like has a sense of humor, because I find myself saying so many things that have come back to me, because then my perspective changes as I get older. Like one of the things I try really hard to do now, and I realize the irony in this because I'm about to speak in an absolute, but I try to never speak in absolutes anymore.
Yep.
Because I'll be like, I will never, never, never. And then 5 years later, I will never be a Christian and believe in God. And it's crazy. I grew up atheist. And now I'm like the biggest Jesus lover and I want everyone to love Jesus the way that I love Jesus,
Love it.
I was vegan for 5 years. I will never eat meat ever again. And then I got sick and I did the carnivore only diet for a year. So I was one of those pyramid people when I was trying to be recruited. That is the dumbest thing and this, and it's a scam and pyramid. And then I was like, one of the top people in the MLM industry shortly afterwards. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot the question you asked.
No worries. We need to touch on that too. By the way, an absolute rock star in our previous company. Was always, if not number one, was in the top 3 for personal sales. Like not only crushed it, team building, attraction marketing is really what I think of when I think of Maureen, but she killed it on personal sales. So like once again, we could speak volumes on that. The question I want the audience to kind of touch on is some of the struggles in the network marketing space, not company specific, but just as a whole.
Struggles. Yes. That was my point. You got it now. The irony, I got a ton of people that were like, this is a scam, the pyramid thing, right? I felt at least like, I never wanted to be perceived as sleazy or creepy, so it's something that I get really excited about naturally. Like I am not a good salesperson in terms of the sales of like sell ice to an Eskimo, right? Like you put me on a used car lot and I will completely starve to death because like, I don't care. I'm not into cars. And I never wanted to feel like a salesperson because I never wanted to think that I was learning a certain series of tactics to create emotional manipulation to get someone to an end goal. But if I genuinely believe with my whole heart, mind, body, and soul that what I have to offer someone is going to help them, then I'm like all in. And so me getting really excited about something, I never wanted that to make people feel like, oh my gosh, she just won't leave me alone. I never wanted to hear that or be that girl like, oh, Maureen's on it again. She's just with this thing, or, like the ghosting. You don't want people to stop answering your phone or call. And that's the hard thing with network marketing, I think, too, is, it's direct sales. It's network marketing. It's who is your network. That is what we are really taught to at least start with. I mean, of course, the possibilities for marketing are endless, and you can get really creative with it. But I think that's a common fear a lot of people have, is I don't want to bother my friends. I don't want to bother my family. Or if it's something that someone has tried 10 times and failed, maybe without the right company or product or service, by the time they get really excited, they're like, oh my gosh, this is the one. I found this thing. Then it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf, people think.
100%.
Can take you seriously because they're like, oh, there he goes again,
100%. I'll piggyback the absolute, but I think almost everybody struggles with what you just went over. I really do, of being that bugaboo, having to call friends and family and pitch the next product, lotion, potion, weight loss cream, whatever it may be that company is affiliated with. The other thing you touched on, and I've not talked on this in a long time, I do think sales has a negative word to it, a negative meaning to it, excuse me. But if you look up in the dictionary, there's nothing negative or positive. It is just a word. Like, I think there are some high-level salespeople.
Yeah.
I have a suit guy. And it's so funny. Every time I go to see him, I could go in just for a tie. I will walk out with 2 suits, a blazer, a tie. And I know it every single time. He'll say, Aaron, I got to take you down to the VIP room. And I know what he's doing, right? But I love it. I go back to him and I refer this man so much business. I'll give him a plug sometime, because it's high level. He makes me feel really, really good. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He does it in an organic, in an uplifting way. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, and I think that it really is what it is. When you can evoke a positive, emotional experience for someone. And that's, I think, the difference between, because like you loved it, right? You love your new suits, like you're happy and you got to enjoy the process. So it was a good experience for you. I think when people evoke an emotional response out of someone and it's manipulative, like they pry on fear or something else, and it's not really in their best interest to have that product or service. That's where it can get creepy. And so, and there's a lot of people that do that out there, but there's a lot of really great salespeople out there too, because at the end of the day, we're always selling something. Even if you're just like, this is some of the analogies that really help me get out of my head is, like I'm always enrolling people into stuff. Oh my gosh, that was the best restaurant I ever went to, or you got to see that movie, or this is my favorite shampoo or conditioner. Like when we get really excited about something, we want to share it with our friends and family.
Facts.
But then there's that gap where people are like, they feel guilty, almost like profiting off of it, which is essentially what network marketing is. And so if you're in a network marketing company and you're super, super sold yourself, right? That's something I think that we all know, we realize we have to do in order to be successful. And they tell you this in network marketing companies. First, you be sold on the product or service. If you're not completely sold on the product or service, it's only a matter of time before it falls apart, because you're in an internal integrity breakdown, and then it's so, at least for me, like I need to be completely aligned with something. I need to feel like the company has integrity. I need to be completely bought in myself. Like if it's not something I would personally use, or recommend to people, then it's just really not going to work long term, at least for me, the way I'm wired.
I'm 1,000% the same way. And I once again, I'll go to absolute now that you opened it. I think it should be like that for everyone.
Yeah.
Really. I tell people every day, if you're not excited about your opportunity, your company, your vehicle, whatever it is, whatever that looks like for you, change, leave. Why in God's name would someone else be excited if the person calling them, sharing this information is not?
Yeah.
Like, excitement is everything.
Yeah. And I've seen it too, where people get really excited because maybe it's a need-based thing where it's like, okay, I need this opportunity. I need the money. And that might, not that money's bad at all, but just, I think the seeking after the money, it's a short-term thing, because it's almost out of desperation that you're going after this goal and you're money driven. And then once that maybe wears off a little bit, or you get your immediate needs met financially, and you were never completely behind the company or the product or the service, then you're going to start to see the ripple effect of that breakdown.
Yep.
You know, it can never, the money will come when everything else is in place.
Love that. Love that. Put it into the universe. Let's fast forward 6 or 7 months ago to how you and I got aligned again with our amazing company. What did that journey look like to you?
Yeah. So talking about some of the bad sides of network marketing. So it's kind of this catch-22, you know, and that's why I love the business that we're in now, because to me it was that perfect blend. Like what I did not enjoy about being a solopreneur was like, yes, I had time freedom, I had financial freedom, I was changing the lives of hundreds of people and helping them with their health and wellness, and it was amazing. And I was exhausted because I didn't like, you know, as a solopreneur, what I really missed was team, and I missed collaboration that I got from corporate. Like I missed like having a community. I did not miss clocking in and clocking out. So when I was a solopreneur, it was just always me. I mean, maybe I had a VA help me, but like I was essentially the janitor, the marketer, this. And when I was interacting with my clients, I loved it, but that wasn't a majority of my time. And so again, when I did, you know, network marketing for the first time, you know, with this community and team, I loved it, but you don't really own your own business at the end of the day. So there's only so much, I feel like, creative control you can really have, because there's still a lot of red tape essentially with, you know, things have to be approved by and I get it, right? They have to protect their brand. They don't want it to be like the wild, wild west where people are maybe even with good intentions coming into the industry, don't really know what they're doing, and unintentionally giving the product or service a bad name by taking it too far off the deep end. So I had all these super creative ideas and that stuff that I was creating, and I was just in a struggle. It was like my organization that I was in was saying one thing and being super supportive, but then there was a lot of like red tape behind the scenes on a corporate level with stuff. And so I was getting like two different answers. So it shut me down for a while. And so it was just kind of the perfect storm of events, because then I was on the top producer trip for the company last summer, and I just emotionally was not in it when I was there, because I kind of just felt really unsupported for all the stuff I felt like I had contributed. And I started, I'm going to just get really raw here for a little bit.
It's uncensored. Come on.
Okay. I started to just feel almost taken advantage of, you know, because I felt like I was really doing something that was blessing the company in a lot of ways. And if it had taken off on a corporate level, because I had invested, I mean, like 40, 50 grand of my own money into creating these other resources and stuff. And it was celebrated in one sense and then kind of getting shut down. But I felt like I was paraded around like a little monkey sometimes. And I just felt like there was, you know, like on stages, and I'm getting branded charcuterie boards in the mail and like battery chargers. And I'm like, okay, this is nice. And like awards, like all these little knick-knacky things. And it's nice to be celebrated and appreciated. And I know based on personality types, some people are a lot more into that than others. Yep. You know, some people like that's really important. It's not a bad thing. I'm not driven that way. And I noticed my bank account was not really reflecting what was being celebrated. And I was just like, something's just not adding up. Like I'm exhausted. Like I'm working, and I love working when I'm passionate about something. Yeah. I'm all in. But it was just like, it was always like there was something else I felt like that was promised, or some other like I felt like I was chasing bonuses, or like the end of the month hustle was starting to get exhausting, and my bank account was just not. And there was a series of things that happened. And so on the way back from the trip, because I know we weren't in the same organization in the company, and I knew that you weren't there. You were always there before. I love being with, you know, you and Dora and the kids and the pool. I remember the year before. Yep. And just Holy Spirit put it on my heart to be like, something's going on with Aaron that you probably would really enjoy doing. It was just this like knowingness. And so I just reached out to you on Facebook Messenger and said, like, miss seeing you and the family at the pool. Where did you go? Yep. And that was pretty much it. I just heard about all the amazing things that you were excited about now. And it just really spoke to my spirit. And that's basically how the new chapter started.
I love
So
it. I love it. There's a lot to unpack there as well. That could be a whole separate podcast.
yeah,
I
we're
had
starting our own new podcast now,
We
ladies.
really should. I mean, there's just so much to deep dive on. I had a similar feeling, and it's not just a certain company. I think this is a whole at a lot of network marketing companies. I did not feel genuine.
Yeah.
That there was a lack of, and you'll say it better than I will. That's fine. But I just didn't. I felt like my stage times. There were times where it was earned for sure, but then there were others where I felt like someone needed a story. And I felt like if they saw my bank account, like you said, with that story, it didn't align.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I really didn't. It kept me up at night. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. That was arguably one of my biggest struggles. And I still kind of get weird thinking about it. It's just I was uncomfortable. I really, really was. And I know we had talked about that as well. Let's talk about what you're doing now with solar. When we talked, I don't think you had any knowledge of solar. Any experience?
Zero.
What what caused you to jump all in?
Zero, except that I love the sun. I moved to Florida, and it's probably 78 degrees outside, which is amazing. So all of you watching this that live anywhere other than the tropical area, I'm so sorry. You're welcome to come visit me anytime. And I don't know how you guys do it. I was in Salt Lake City 2 weeks ago, and it was 27 degrees in a blizzard. And I was like, I feel like I'm going to die. So, yeah, solar. I mean, I think it always excited me. It's kind of funny now, actually, because I'm kind of back full circle. If I go back to like what my degrees were and thinking, I actually got offered multiple six figures right out of school as a geologist, but it would have required me to go work on an offshore rig. I know this is so funny to picture me in this career. I would have to go work on an offshore rig for 6 weeks at a time. And especially being like a 21-year-old female. I mean, I've always ended up kind of in male-dominated industries. Solar is no different,
We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, but that was just like, I mean, So anyway, and not only just because the lifestyle, I knew back then in my core, like that I didn't want to be a part of what I felt like was the problem even back then. I'm like, we have the tools, resources, and technology to really be pursuing like clean, renewable energy. I didn't want to go work in the oil exploration or fracking space. So that's kind of when I went on the other side. I mean, I only was making 50 grand a year, but at least I felt better emotionally about it because I was on the cleanup side, the remediation, going out inspecting the hazardous waste or oil refineries to try to like clean up the environment, even though that was a bunch of red tape, lies and stuff too. But, I didn't feel like I was a part of the problem. So it's kind of cool to be back 20 years later. I just totally dated myself. Yes, I'll be 40 this year. I'll own it. But it's actually great. And I'm super grateful that I had the MLM experience because it did help me learn how to speak. It did help me learn how to train and be in community and collaboration. So this is science and renewable energy in that sense. So my geeky brain loves it, but it's all the, sales and education and speaking and team and entrepreneurship. So it's like everything that I did in the past combined in the solar industry with knowing where we get to go as a planet, knowing how much it helps the homeowners save money. Like the homeowners win, the environment wins, the planet wins. Like it's like everyone gets to win with solar, and we're only at 4% market saturation in the country. I mean, it's like now's the time to get in it for everyone. It's like the more I've learned about it, and again, I didn't know any of this when I said yes to joining the solar industry.
Stop right there. Audience, I want you to hear what she just said. I know Chris Hart said something similar. My wife and I last week talked about this. So important. She said yes. And we're going to talk about why. I'm going to model our relationship, where this was going. And she figured it out. That is what leaders do. Those of you that are sitting there waiting and praying for every single answer before you take action, lose. It's simple. It really, really is. I hate to be that direct with you, but that is an absolute. You got to take action. You got to go with your gut, go with your belief. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure we really drive that point home.
I'm glad you said that because that's been one of my biggest, I don't want to say struggle, opportunities as I've grown and done a lot of personal development. Because I even told Aaron this when I basically said it, I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm doing this because it goes against every grain in my being. I was like, I already know that I'm in. because because I trust you, respect you, your leadership. Like, and I knew it was a gut feeling, but it went against every single scientific analytical part of my brain and how it's wired that needs to know all the information. I said, I'm still going to have a bazillion questions. It'll just be after the fact. And if you can handle me, you can handle anyone else.
1,000%. I mean, that was deja vu. She said it exactly like that. I remember it. That is too funny.
Yeah. And so, but again, it's like, and I've done so much leadership and personal development, and something that someone said to me once, it was a one-liner and it always stuck with me. And I coach people on it all the time because I'm a leadership coach. I do all these things. You cannot course correct unless you're in motion. So if you ever feel like you are that person that is just getting stuck perpetually in that analysis paralysis and you're not moving at all, game over, you're done. But you just have to have that leap of faith. You don't have to know A to Z. You just know B. And when you get to B, you trust C. When you get to C, you trust D. So you can always course correct. But, energy, motion, law of physics, right? Inertia, all that stuff. You just got to go and then trust. And that's the great thing about this, company that we're in now, or even if it's MLM, whatever, you have other people. You don't have to do it alone. You're not a solopreneur. You own your own business, but you're plugged into a massive company and training and tools and people. Like, you're not at it alone. This is not like you just walked down to the, Chamber of Commerce and decided you're going to open up a, whatever it is business, and you're at it 100% alone. You just got to go. You got to trust, and you got to rely on other people that are one step ahead of you to take you there with them.
So well said. And I know you know this. We have a saying on our team, Maureen and I, that although you're in business for yourself, you're not in business by yourself.
Yeah, so true.
And she echoes that. The tribe that we have, the community. There are days where I'm not feeling it, right? And I'll get on our team chat, see Maureen hosting an event last night with 40 people, killing it, and I'm just like, man, I got to step up. I come on, I got to keep going. And it's that synergy, right? It's that culture that certain organizations and certain teams have that we just love. Quickly, how was your first 6 months in solar bed?
Well, if you ask other people, it's been really great. If you ask me, I feel like I'm, failing because my vision is so big and I'm like, I'm not there yet. But realistically,
it's been realistic. I love what you just said. That right there is what makes you special. 100%. She has massive goals. And it's funny because she is killing it, absolutely killing it on her national stage. She's leading convention after convention. She's been with us less than 6 months, knew nothing about solar prior to this. Do not let her story kid you. Yet she is not living up to her expectation of herself. That's how talent talks. Sorry to cut you off again. That was important.
Oh, thank you. Well, no, and I was blessed. The cool thing about our company is it was actually really fun. Like, if anyone watching this has ever seen like Eric Worre or Tony Robbins, have those multi-million-dollar media studios with the surround stages. You see everyone's little Zoom boxes and stuff. So we just had our virtual convention, and I was fortunate enough to be able to be there and be speaking from stage and stuff. But again, it was I had imposter syndrome when I was there because I was the newest one that was there. And I was so grateful to corporate that they gave me the opportunity to be there so I can learn. I was just like a sponge, listening to the conversations that the CEO is having in the green room about his vision for where the company is going to go and what's possible. And everyone else pretty much there is making 7 figures a year already. I know that that's possible for me, and I'm committed to doing what it takes to get there, but I wasn't there yet within 6 months. So it's I'm always measuring to I see the gap, but again, that's what drives me. 100%. But what I have created in 6 months, because of, the leadership and the team and just, the access to information and training and resources and being around other people that are super driven and inspiring others. And I've been able to become a solar professional, I guess, if you dare to say. Still so much to learn, but helping homeowners, hopping on presentations, doing all these transactions myself, being able to partner with other people in the company and help them and train them and mentor them and build a team. And the event that I did on the rooftop of my building last night, was specifically for business owners. And there were HVAC people there and roofers and realtors and mortgage brokers, and talking about the value proposition of them coming on board and different ways that they can partner with our platform and to serve their existing database and how it gets to be a win-win. So my brain's always looking at strategies, and that's probably the analyzer in me. I remember when we used to work in our former company, and I was understanding the comp plan in the beginning and like recruiting and this. I wake up at 3 a.m. and it was like a video game I was playing in my brain. I was like, oh my God, if I recruit this person, they go here, strategy, and I call, and I had like 80 usernames and passwords saved in my back office to help my team. And just like, so that's what my brain's doing right now, is like seeing how this synergy is like, wow, solar is really for everyone. And it can bless not just the homeowners, but how can all these other businesses out there come on board, partner with us in a way that's turnkey for them, where they can add a solar division to their business without taking away from the main thing being the main thing. Yep. Whether they just want to share leads or train someone in their organization to just be a setter and partner with us, or train someone to go all in like you and I do that can run that division. So it's like the possibilities are endless. And the point is just everyone needs to get involved with this and know that there's a way and a strategy for you based on your network, your experience, your financial goals, your impact level, that it can be tied in and work.
I love that.
Is this an 8-hour podcast? Because
it's going to have to be. And I know the audience is going to ask for it. By the way, for those of you guys watching on YouTube, when we share this, let us know in the comments you want us to bring her back. I know the answer already. But it will, I can show her the comments to lock it down, because this one took me 3 weeks to get. As she mentioned, she's traveling the world, Salt Lake City, going all over the place. A couple things that you just said that I want to touch on quickly. One of my notes is, and you kind of glazed over it, but I know what you meant here. It's the now stories at our company. That is what like fires me the blank up. My previous company, a lot of the winners, and there's a lot of winners in that company killing it, they were 20-year-old stories. And I'm not taking away from them because they are living amazing, impactful lives. I don't have 20 years that I want to spend. I'm just being honest. Like, there's a lot of things I want to go do. What I love about where we are right now, there are people making multiple six figures a month inside of their first year in our business with zero solar experience.
Easy. Because at the end of the game, it's a numbers game too. Not in the sense of recruiting, but just this is a high ticket construction home improvement project.
Yep.
So even from one deal, the commissions that are available to, the sellers who want to take the time and really learn how to support homeowners in this way is huge. I mean, the average and the systems that I am selling in Florida, just because everyone's using electricity all the time here, so we say, it's an average $7,000 commission available to the seller per home, and maybe nationwide, but there's a lot more than that. So I tell people all the time too, even if it's just a part-time thing, imagine one homeowner, one that would benefit from going solar. You come on board, if you sell one project a month, or even split it with someone, a solar pro in the company that you're being mentored by, that's an extra $3,500 a month. And then I think about all of the sales that I had to make in the former model and the hustle. And again, it's not their fault. It's a numbers game. There's only so much money that you can make off of shakes, off of eyelashes, off of a service, off of another product. So it's not that there's anything wrong with that model. It's just the way that it's set up, and it's just constant. And a lot of it's made for recruiting. Like, we can build teams in our organization here, but you don't make money off of recruiting anyone. We make money when we put glass on roofs of houses, period.
Plain and simple.
But it's great money when it's done, and it's life-changing money. That's why it's easy. I think there's a video I've seen from one of the other women in the company. She said, I accidentally made 6 figures the first year. Because really, it's like, you think about it, it's basically 12 homes is 6 figures.
And that's a big deal in network marketing, by the way. Yeah. Like, her and I were top performers. I'm very blessed and fortunate I did do that. Like on day 365, I just got my 6 figure.
Oh, I thought you were going to say day 3. I was like, that's a lot.
Oh no, I wish. Well, that was at the previous company. Like, so I get it, but yeah. I never duplicated that.
No,
never duplicated that.
I watched it too, and my heart breaks for a lot of these people too, because I think there is a level of fear.
Oh yeah,
instilled, and I think there's a level of brainwashing kind of that goes on, because I would hear some of those stories, and it's like, they celebrate those levels or advancements, or some companies call it something else, like rings or whatever, but it's like getting that coveted like 6-figure ring. But then if you look back, it's like these are people that have been doing it full time for 20 years. That is not, to me, that's not time freedom. That's not financial freedom. And it's like celebrated like it's this amazing accomplishment. And it's like, but compared to what? Compared to what? Flipping burgers?
Yeah, I don't know anybody that would stay in a job where you didn't get a raise every year or every couple of
No,
years.
like
And that's what that is.
in corporate America, you should be, if you have a college degree. So I mean, I didn't want to wait 20 years either to be making 6 figures. So knowing that I will likely, I mean, I'm pretty close to cresting that. I guess I'll do that under my first year.
Yeah, 100%.
Assuming if I stay on the same trajectory I'm on right now,
she's too modest. She will crush it. She will make multiple 6 figures this year. We've already seen the numbers. I don't know why she's saying that. This is uncensored. We have people on the team making 6 figures in a month, which is just mind blowing inside of their first year. One other thing I want to bring up too, because I get this question a lot. How is our company, and we're trying our best not to say names because we want to be able to help everybody in the solar space, sales, whatever. And we truly mean that. So if we do slip up, it's unintentional. One question I get with our extensive background in network marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it, is how is our current company different? And it is so different, right? So for me personally, I'll go back to absolutes. I don't believe I'll ever do a traditional network marketing company again. No. I cannot do month-end quotas. I'm not having it where my son's birthday falls on a month end and I got to block it and I'm told, suck it up. You can hang out with him in 20 years. No, never again. I will never have an auto ship. I will never have a trunk full of product, a garage full of product. I won't do it. I'll never have titles. I'll never have to take 15 minutes to explain a compensation plan to someone that I'm trying to attract to my business ever again. And then the last thing I'll touch on with that, I don't want to deal with clawbacks. I love getting people jacked, getting people excited, painting the vision for where we're going, showing that. Ultimately, whether or not they take ownership of that and do anything with it is their choice. That's between them and God. That is not mine. And for you to take that away from me or penalize because no, never again. I'm sorry to get so passionate on that, but oh my gosh, is it free not to have to deal with that crap anymore?
Yeah, no, it's very like the level of like panic and anxiety that I would always feel the last couple of days of the month, like being so close to hitting my numbers, but not quite there. And then knowing that like already was I kind of struggling financially relative to the amount of effort I was putting in. Like there was always this promise, like it's gonna click and it's gonna be different, and then chasing bonuses. And I think they knew that the commissions weren't really enough for people to live off of. So that's when they were always doing these new quarterly and monthly bonuses. So it's like, in order to really maximize that bonus, you had to be at that certain rank, or it was huge. It was a difference of almost, thousands of dollars a month, potentially, if you didn't get that one last sale in or something. And then feeling sleazy, like calling and going back to, it was just like, I hated that. And actually it's funny you mentioned that, because someone had said, because there are some solar companies out there apparently that are MLM structure. And people have been asking me, what's different about your company versus this one? So I actually had to go chase down YouTube videos to see a compensation plan. So I was like, are there solar MLM companies out there? Really? And there's one I know for sure right now. There might be.
I only know of one, but yeah.
But I got like this sickest feeling in my stomach watching this YouTube video, because it was the same thing, breaking it down, and you had to hit a certain rank every month or have a certain quota or production in order to make a certain structured commission. And I'm like, oh, thank gosh, our company is not like that. It's very simple. You don't even have to build a team. We have so many solar pros in the company that just came over from other companies before, but they love the model better, the value proposition, the mission, and the vision. They're making 2 to 3 times the commission from the same exact size system sold. And I would dare to say probably about 80% of our consultants are basically just doing that, because they aren't skilled in recruiting. Maybe they don't feel like they have the confidence yet, or they just truly don't understand the value proposition of leveraged income as an option with one of the ways that we get paid, but it's just one of the ways.
Yeah, I want to touch on that. So it's 90%. 90% of our company does not have a team. They are transactional. They are here to sell glass. Yeah. Not our team, excuse me, of the company, of I almost said it, of our company as a whole. 90%. Many of them are making multiple six figures, some of them even seven figures annually,
Yes.
just keeping their head down selling glass. Now, Maureen and I, we understand the gift of leverage in this model. It's very similar to EXP. So we run with what I call, have coined a hybrid model, where yes, we
Yeah.
sell glass, we help a lot of homeowners, but we're also going to attract some rock star talent to our organization. Yeah, you got me jacked. You got me fired up.
It's different. I know in the beginning, like I did, because I was still in that the same thought process as our former company. And so I did bring a bunch of people and share the opportunity, but then I realized, oh, this is different though. This is different. This isn't just take everyone who's willing to sign up or whatever. Because at the end of the day, like this is a serious business model, great. And that's why the income opportunity is massive here. But this is this is specifically for people that are entrepreneurs, business owners, have that hustle, have that drive, have that skill set, and can't get out of, because there's so many things I want to talk about. This is when I would say the bad things about MLM too, as it can be very easily a time suck into like babysitting, because emotionally, because you get so enrolled in people's story and they want to change their lives. And it's this one thing and the opportunity. So I like built this massive team, and then I just wanted to help everyone, and I wanted to save them more than they wanted to be saved. Yep. And I knew I was doing it every time. I was like, you hear it, you can only help the willing, you can't, whatever. And I would just get so wrapped up into these people's stories and just go and get on the call. What are you doing? Come on, just come with me. The water's warm. I'm jumping in, jump in with me. We're here. It's and I think you just touched on this. It's we need to share the amazing opportunity that this company has, that the industry has, renewable energy, solar, how we're just getting started, no market saturation. And then the people that already have that intrinsic drive, because that's what you cannot teach someone. You can give them a platform, you can give them the model, you can give them the roadmap. But if you give that to someone that is not intrinsically driven or doesn't have that desire to create more, whether it's income, impact, something, be willing to be uncomfortable, because entrepreneurship, owning your own business, it is not comfortable. It is not for the faint of heart. There are ups and downs, good times, bad times. And some people just can't thrive in that environment, and that's okay. They need the corporate 100%. Structure. They need the consistency, and there's a payoff for that, right? There's pros and cons to everything. There are times where I definitely missed my corporate job because it was easy. I didn't make a lot of money, but I knew every other week how much I was getting paid, and everything was perfectly color-coded in my Excel spreadsheet. I didn't have the lifestyle I have now, but it was easy. It was simple. So some people need that. And for those that need that, that's okay. That exists. And for those of us that really want to up-level our income and our impact and our time and financial freedom, this is the best model I've ever seen, because it's not just a great compensation plan and model. It actually is making a difference for everyone involved, including the homeowners, including the planet. It literally, in my brain, I cannot think of anything better.
Love it. Love it. I tell people every single day, I'm a recruiter. I'm an attractor. I am a business coach and not a life coach. And that is what you just said. I am not here to talk about lives and struggles. Obviously, we do that to some extent, but I want to be around people that want more, people that want to have a high-level business conversation, that want to kick this thing into gear, as you call it, the burning desire to succeed, to do more, to leave a legacy, to make that impact, whatever that looks like. And you got to be able to separate the two. The other problem with what she just said, quite frankly, is many models, business models, they incentivize that behavior of life rescuing because of clawbacks. Yes, we did that because we had to. If you don't do it, they take money out of your pocket. I mean, that's right. If you follow the metric, that's telling you to go do it. What advice would you give someone in a similar situation to yours? I want to focus on network marketing. They've done it. Maybe they've tried it and they weren't like you. They weren't as successful. They didn't have those wins, but they know it. They've honed some skills. They've done some speaking. They've done some presenting. They know how to talk to friends and family. What does that transition to solar look like to someone like that?
Yeah, that's the hardest part to teach someone in network marketing. That is, those are the people that succeed, that have that skill set. They were just probably in the wrong platform, in the wrong product, and the wrong service. So someone coming into this space that has those skill sets, that knows how to speak, that enjoys building and training, it's the best opportunity in industry, because it's actually funny. It's easier for me to sell a residential solar system or bring someone into this business than it was the $30 service that I offered before. It's crazy. Like a $30,000 or $60,000 sale is easier because people see it. I think people are hungry for this conversation right now. It's all over the place. So someone that has that skill set, I would say don't give up. You were just in the wrong platform or wrong. I wouldn't even say
wrong. You know what I say? It's the wrong seat on the bus.
Yeah.
You have some people that need to be drivers. You have some people that need to sit up front and they want to be able to help you plan with the GPS, make sure you don't miss a turn. You got others in the back that are along for the ride. Like, tell me when we get there and I'll do what I do.
And I'll say that this is, I know I kind of touched on it in different pieces, but bringing it full circle. So the thing that I really did not like about being a solopreneur was I was on my own. The thing about the MLM space was it was the team and the collaboration, but you really didn't have control. This, I felt like, is the perfect blend of both, because with this company, Explorer Industry, whatever, it's you're 1099, so you own your own business, but we are plugged into a massive global movement, plugged into a company that has all of the training, all the, it's a turnkey business. So you are a solopreneur, you own your own business, you can essentially do whatever you want in order to grow it, whatever skill sets you have, whatever network you have. We have people that, there's a million different ways to grow it. There's no rules, but you're plugged into an entity and a community. So it's that blend of all of it. It is direct sales. It's not multi-level marketing. There's not quotas. There's not pressure. There's not rules about, yeah.
I'm smiling from ear to ear hearing you say it again. Oh my gosh, I sleep better at night. We got to wrap up here in a second. Another question I have for you is, in looking back on your journey, what lessons have you learned in regard to resilience, adapting, personal growth that you would like to share with the audience?
It's cliche, but a lot of those cliche things are so true. You can the only way to fail is to quit. The only way to fail is to quit. You can't course correct unless you're in motion. I can't tell you how many times I feel like I'm on this roller coaster of highs, lows. It's, it's all working out. It's going to be amazing. And then like one bad day. So know the bad days are going to come and know they're not going to stay. And then have those things put in place for me, like the people I can call, the people that will, be my life coach. It's not Aaron.
Well, sometimes you make, I walked right into that one. It's all
no, but he is a great support. Like I would joke Aaron. I was like, gosh, whenever I need to feel better about myself, I'm literally like, he's like, you're the best public speaker. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. And he always makes me feel so good about myself. But he's gifted like that. And he's genuine. Like he pours into people, he pours into the team, pours into people, pours into, the communities that he's a part of. And so it's being surrounded by those like that. I wouldn't be where I am now without being surrounded by other people who are driven to win, driven to succeed, driven to play team, driven to create a win-win environment. So it's knowing that the lows are going to come and knowing that that's a part of it, and then keep going. Maybe you take a day off. Sometimes you got to slow down to speed up, go get a massage, go get a facial, go for a run. And then know, okay, I'm going to feel better tomorrow. And then I'm going to go back to getting recommitted to that vision. That is something that is the most important thing for me too. When I get disconnected from my bigger why, which is committed impact, that's what it is. That is I own committedimpact.com. I bought that domain name 1.5 years ago. I didn't even know what that meant. I just knew like, oh my gosh, it's available. It's meant to be mine. Yep. And I knew that essentially was the umbrella company of my life.
By the way, audience, do you guys see a trend? She didn't know the answers. She knew a name and where she wanted to go, a vision of what she wanted to accomplish, didn't know the how behind it. Mm-hmm. She knew the why behind it. And so she bought it. That, honestly, like that is what this podcast episode is about. It is taking action and just doing it. We figure it out later.
Figure it out. Yeah. So that's
a badass.
Thanks. That's like something that I run everything through when I make a decision to get involved. So like I help run a transformational leadership academy for Christians, like House Leadership Academy. So does that fall under the umbrella of committed impact of my life? Yeah. Yep. Because it's helping make an impact, right? So did solar when this opportunity came up, and I felt it, but I'm like, I don't see it. How is that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, it's perfect for committed impact. I still do health coaching on the side if people need my help, right? Because I'm committed to having and a positive impact on their health so they can be at the peak performing version of themselves so they can make an impact. So find out what your why is. If it's to be around more for your kids. I know, Aaron, that was a huge thing for you, was you had no time freedom. Like, I watched your episode with Dora, like hearing, it made me so happy knowing that, like, yes, you guys are still driving this business forward for your bigger vision, but you get to do it with so much more time home, right? You're present more. You're not running around on appointments. You're not leaving at 8 a.m. and coming home at 10 p.m. Every single day to build your vision for your life and what you guys want to create for your family. So have that somewhere very present, have it on your whiteboard, read it every morning or every night. But that is what is going to get you through the ups and downs of life in general, knowing it's all for a purpose and staying focused and believing it. Like, the brain doesn't know if you're imagining something or if it's actually really happened. Pro athletes rehearse everything in their brain before they actually do it, and all the same muscles fire and everything else. So run your life in your brain. Focus on the positive, because we create it. We create it. Thoughts become things, to read the leadership books, read the personal development stuff, and it works for a reason. But don't get stuck in that. You still got to get an income producing activity. I can get in that trap too. I want to go to every seminar, event and stuff. And I'm like, okay, but I actually need to go out there and like talk to people and make sales and stuff. Like, that's what's going to grow my bank account, but it can't be, overlooked. The personal, having a solid morning routine. Like, I notice a big difference when I'm traveling and I'm not putting that half hour aside for visualization and prayer and working out. It takes a toll on me a couple of days later. I start to feel a little bit off, anxiety, and I'm like, what in the heck is going on with me? And I'm like, oh, I haven't been doing my normal, what seems so small morning routine, but it makes a huge difference.
Love that. Love that. She's going to kill me for doing this. So those of you watching on YouTube, you have already seen it. I know many of you are going to blow me up saying, how do I get in contact? How do I learn more from Maureen? I have thrown up her personal Facebook, facebook.com, for those of you listening to the podcast, /Maureen Vincenty. You will see that there. I'm also going to throw up her Instagram handle as well, which, shocker, is Committed Impact, which is really, really cool. I can't thank you enough for being here. You are an absolute rock star. You are a badass. I have goosebumps. I have notes, and it was my damn podcast. That's what I love about hanging out with people who just kill it, people who inspire you to do better. So I speak for our audience. Thank you. I know for a fact they're going to beg, plead, bribe, do whatever they can to have you back on future episodes as well. For those of you that enjoyed this, that perhaps you picked up a nugget that can drastically change your business. I hope it's one of taking action. That was a big nugget for me. Please like, review, share this podcast with others. Maureen and myself, we do this for free. We do it from contribution. We do it to get our message out, to help lead, to help share, to help inspire others who are on a path for more, who want to make that committed impact. I had to. So anyway, thank you so much, Maureen. I really, really appreciate it. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the day. Be good, be safe, and God bless. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.